Week 2 is starting tomorrow of the NFL season. I'm excited. We're going to go through each and every matchup once again and to pick our winners for Week 2. First off, we're going to start with the 10 a.m. games, Pacific Standard Time. Of course, 1 o'clock if you're on the East Coast. We got the Raiders versus the Steelers. Derek Carr picked up a big win against the Baltimore Ravens last week at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. However, this game is going to be against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They did get a big win, very impressive win against the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, absolute studs over there in Buffalo. And the Steelers were able to pick up the victory. A lot of their defense contributed in that win. They needed them. So now they're moving to Pittsburgh. This is going to be the home opener for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they are my pick to win the game. I mean, they're a home team, and after such an impressive performance, it's very hard to pick against them. But I want to see Darren Waller continue to be a stud. That matchup with Minkah Fitzpatrick is going to be great to watch, though. So I got Pittsburgh in that first match. Next, we're moving on to the 49ers versus the Eagles. 49ers played very well against the Lions last week, winning 41-33. For 3 quarters, they were excellent. All right, absolutely dominating the Detroit Lions. However, that fourth quarter, they did waver, especially in that last 5 minutes. Deebo Samuel had a big fumble with 2 minutes left in the game and really gave the Lions a chance to win. However, Jalen Hurts last week was incredible for the Philadelphia Eagles against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I know Atlanta Falcons don't have really that great of a defense. They have a terrible defense, if we're being honest here about the Atlanta Falcons. So it's going to be a very difficult matchup for Jalen Hurts because the 49ers defense with absolute studs such as Nick Bosa on that team. It's going to be interesting to see how they come on top. But they're the home team once again, so I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles to win in a close one. If I'm going to predict a score here, I think it's going to be like a 21-17, 24-21 type of game. I don't see it being one-sided either way. Next, we move on to the Texans versus the Browns. Baker Mayfield and Jarvis Landry last week played against the Kansas City Chiefs in a heartbreaker. They were up by 2 possessions late into the game and just were not able to hold on. But that was against Patrick Mahomes, who is the best quarterback in the NFL. Now you're going to be playing against Tyrod Taylor, who did play very well in week 1 against Jacksonville, though. Jacksonville had a number 1 overall pick last year for a reason. So we're going to go with the Browns here. They're the home team once again. Nick Chubb is going to rush for 1,000,000 yards. Kareem Hunt is going to run for half of that because they're just a dynamic running combo. Baker Mayfield's going to be able to bounce back from his performance last week. I think it's going to be a definitive victory for the Cleveland Browns. Next, we got the Jaguars versus the Broncos. Trevor Lawrence last week threw for 340 yards, 3 touchdowns. But he also threw 3 interceptions and he threw 50 times as a rookie quarterback. That is not a successful game plan for an organization, is to throw their rookie out there in his very first regular season game and throw 50 times. Especially after the Denver Broncos had a really good performance against the Giants last week. I want to see the Broncos really continue that role. The rushing game, Melvin Gordon had 100 yards and a touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater was very decisive in his passes. I'm going to go with the Broncos here. It's going to be very hard for the Jaguars to really win more than 3-4 games this year. And it really seems like their coach is already out the door. Next, we got the Saints versus the Panthers. I'm taking the Saints. The reason I take the Saints here is because Jameis Winston, he got his eyes checked out. He got everything working. He only threw 6 incompletions last week against the Green Bay Packers, who did not look very good at all. I mean, we all know this. Green Bay got absolutely steamrolled by the Saints. But Jameis Winston threw 6 incompletions and 5 touchdowns. We got to go with Jameis Winston here. The Saints are a great team. The Panthers, yes, they did win last week, but that was against the Jets, who are one of the worst teams in football. Yeah, Saints are going to win here. It's going to be pretty definitive. I think it's going to be like a 21-point game. Next, we move on to the Rams versus the Colts. This might be game of the weekend. Because outside maybe Chiefs-Ravens. We'll get on to that later. Rams, oh my God. Matthew Stafford for the LA Rams. This is really giving us an opportunity to see Matthew Stafford outside of that Detroit Lions franchise, where it just seems like Detroit Lions just suck the soul out of their superstar players, such as a Calvin Johnson, a Barry Sanders. Just historically, they have not been able to keep their stars happy, while Matthew Stafford finally gets a new lease on life, his football life. Moving on to the Rams, playing with a ton of talent out wide, a superstar filled defense that's going to keep them close and always give Matthew Stafford a chance. But the Colts did lose last week. They lost 28-16 against Seattle. They were beaten bad by the deep ball. Do I see the Colts winning this game? It's going to be very difficult. I mean, this is a very tough start to their season, playing the Seahawks and the Rams, who are in that NFC West. That's just an insane. That's murderer's row right there. I mean, if you're playing the Seahawks, the freaking Rams, I'm forgetting their teams. The Cardinals. Oh my goodness, the 49ers. That's just pain, all right? That's pain for any team. So I'm going to go with the Rams here just because they are that superstar-filled team. I want to see more of Matthew Stafford. I want to see what he can do. Can he give us another 300-yard performance? I think so, but we got to wait and see. Next, we got the Bills versus the Dolphins. Both teams coming off very different week ones. The Buffalo Bills lost against the Pittsburgh Steelers while Buffalo was at home, which is shocking. I expect this to be a bounce-back game for Buffalo. They're supposed to be one of the favorites to go to the Super Bowl. But are they going to be able to really make that jump? I mean, it's hard. When you have all that confidence and you have all those expectations set upon you, sometimes the pressure is just too much. Do I expect them to lose to the Dolphins? No. I just want to see how they can last for a 17-game season. But Buffalo is going to definitely get that win. Patriots versus Jets. This is going to be a Patriots game all day. Jets may go 1-15. 1-16. 17-game season. I just said it. But yeah, we're going with Patriots. Bengals Bears is going to be one of the closer games of the week. The reason I say that is because the Bengals, Joe Burrow is just a great quarterback, and I love watching him play. He's just a winner. He's a winner. He goes out there, he balls out, gets some dubs. I'm going to go with the Bears just because the Bears are at home. I know the Bears' offense was atrocious last week, only putting up 14 points, but they got an easier matchup against the Bengals, and they're at home. So I'm gonna give the Bears the benefit of the doubt. If they lose this week, I don't think they may not win again. Unless Justin Fields starts. I want to see Justin Fields. Take Andy Dalton out, please. Buccaneers versus Falcons. Buccaneers are going to go and blow out the Atlanta Falcons here. Atlanta got beaten bad. I think it was 32-6 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now they're playing against the former Super Bowl champion. They're playing against TB12 GOAT. They're playing against Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Oh, you cannot stop that offense. You got beat by Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. This is Tom Brady and Antonio Brown. Good luck, Atlanta. Good luck. Next, got the Vikings Cardinals. I'm taking the Cardinals here. I like Kirk Cousins a lot. I think Kirk Cousins is a baller. He just can't win games. I don't get it. I don't know why that is. I mean, it's rough to see. But the Cardinals just came off a very, very impressive victory against the Titans, where they just stopped Derrick Henry for 50 yards. They're going to be playing another top-tier running back in Dalvin Cook this week. Can their run defense do the same thing? Can Chandler Jones continue to dominate in the pass rush? I think so. Is he going to get 5 sacks? No. Is he going to get 1 or 2? Probably. So I'm taking the Cardinals there. Titans Seahawks. Another very, very interesting matchup. Again, feel bad for the Titans. They're playing that murderer's row over there in the NFC West. I'm going to take the Seahawks here because Seahawks are at home. It's very hard to go up to Seattle and win. I mean, Seattle might go 7. How many home games do you have now that it's 17 games? You have 9 or do you have 8? Questions for later. But it's going to be very hard for Titans to get a victory in Seattle. I think Derrick Henry is definitely going to have a bounce-back performance. But that deep ball, man. Russell Wilson throws the prettiest deep ball in the NFL. And Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, those are just some weapons. Got to take Seattle there. Chargers versus Cowboys. It's going to be a great matchup. It's in SoFi Stadium. Chargers' first game in SoFi Stadium during the regular season with crowd attendance. I'm going to take the LA Chargers here because Justin Herbert is a great player. I don't know about that Cowboys defense. They just lost their 2 top pass rushers in DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory. So it's going to be very hard to get pressure on the Chargers, especially after that performance the Chargers had the previous week against the Washington football team, where they played that stud defensive line. And really, Justin Herbert did not get pressured too much in that game. So we're going to go ahead and go with the Chargers there. Next, we have the Chiefs versus the Ravens. I'm taking the Chiefs 100%. Ravens had a heartbreaking loss against the Raiders. It's hard to bounce back after such a loss. And the Chiefs had a really uplifting victory against the Browns, making that comeback. And of course, every time you have Patrick Mahomes, it's very hard to lose a game with Patrick Mahomes. He's only lost 8 times in his career. And he's beaten Lamar Jackson every time they've played. You got to take the Chiefs. Last game of the weekend, we get the Lions versus the Packers. Lions lost by 8 points the previous week against the 49ers. The Packers lost by 35 points against the Saints. I hope the Packers can bounce back. This is really going to be a big game for the Packers. If the Packers get blown out the way they did against the Saints, that's going to be really just a trend that we're going to see this entire season. Maybe the team's given up. I 100% doubt it. Just from watching, for example, the Pat McAfee show, Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays. Of course, I got to watch Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays. Aaron Rodgers really, he looks confident. He doesn't look like, of course, he's upset. I mean, they lost, but he didn't really show it. He has a lot of confidence in their teams. I mean, in the NFL, it happens. It happens. You play 20 years and it happens. So I'm going to take Green Bay in that matchup. But it's going to be exciting to see if Green Bay is going to be able to have a great season, or it's going to be a rough ride. Those are my predictions for week 2. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. It's been a pleasure. See ya.